Hey guys, OddsAre here, bringing you guys my AP Academy Round 1 playoff match against our good buddy Silver Smasher and his Floridian Typhlosions. I didn't end up doing a draft recap for this, and just didn't have the time this week. It's been pretty busy for me, unfortunately, but I do want to let you know what our playoff roster is really quick. It's a pretty cool team. I'm very proud of it. Coming up and, being able to work the tiers and stuff like that. So our team consists of the Landers Therian, Tangrowth, Tyrantrum, Rotom Heat, Sneasel, Masquerain, Megalopony, Tapu Fini, Scolipede, Spiritomb, and Piloswine. And then our opponent's team, while we're on the subject, consists of his playoff roster is Weavile, Sylveon, Arcanine, Silvally, Cofagrigus, Stunfisk, Mega Gallade, Garchomp, Ferrothorn, Drapion, and Rotom Fan. So, right off the bat, he has a couple very, very, very terrifying mons versus us. Weavile is a huge threat versus our team. Everything we have that wants to take it on gets very, very chipped very easily. The Mega Gallade is also very scary because, like I said, it's the same kind of deal with our Weavile checks. Our Mega Gallade checks get very chipped as well. And the Garchomp is also very, very, very terrifying. We don't take that on very well at all, just in general. We have our Tangrowth, but I don't think Tangrowth has the best matchup. And as you'll see in a second, it actually doesn't end up coming to this game. So, with that being said, let's just jump into the first mon right here. We have our Spiritomb rocking out with the leftovers, Pressure Ability, Foul Play, Shadow Ball, Pain Split, and Hidden Power Fighting. 252 attack, HP, 160 defense, and 96 special attack with a bold nature. No, with a relaxed nature. Sorry. I don't know why I was relaxed. I guess it doesn't really end up mattering. But, I don't know why I was relaxed. I think I originally had Sucker Punch on the set, so I was relaxed, and then I took it off, and I never changed it back. But this defense allows us to take on stuff like the Mega Gallade much, much better. And then just threw the rest into special attack. I don't remember the exact EVs. This game actually was played a pretty long time ago. But yeah. Next up, we have our Scolipede, which is a great win con this game, rocking out with the Beginnium Z, Swords Dance, Poison Jab, Earthquake, and Mega Horn, 252 HP. 252 attack, 244 speed, and 12 HP. Man, I'm all over the place. With a Jolly Nature. So this is a great win con. Beginnium Z, his whole team does not appreciate switching into. I did want to pack like maybe Darkinium Z Throat Chop, but I figure I can chip down the Cofag in other ways to where I can set this thing up to win in the end game. And the Beginnium Z was nice for things like the Ferrothorn, for things like the Garchomp, an accurate move for the Mega Gallade to hit it and, knock it out. Earthquake for stuff like Arcanine, so we do have to chip that if it ends up coming. But yeah, if we can set up a Swords Dance, this really does just kind of go in. Sorry, dog was freaking out in the back for a minute. Check on her. And yeah, so next member after that is going to be our Megalopony, rocking out with the Baton Pass, Return, Power Up Punch, and Drain Punch set, 20 HP, 252 attack, and 236 speed with an Adamant Nature. So we are going pretty aggressive on our creep. We're creeping a Weavile that is creeping something on our team. We're creeping a Weavile that's creeping a Sneasel, I want to say. If I'm wrong, I'm just pretty dumb. But I believe that's what we're creeping on this set. Besides, Weavile doesn't really want to stay in on us. We can Drain Punch all the damage it does to us and stuff like that. Power Up Punches are really cool because if we, my main plan for the Power Up Punch is, one, to help Lopunny kind of break through his team maybe late game. And two, if he wants to go into the Cofag on the Power Up Punch, cool, we get +1, and then we lose our Scrappy, so we obviously can't touch that thing anymore. We're not packing Toxic for it because we have Tapu Fini, which is coming. So I want to Baton Pass that into another member of my team, which is going to be Sneasel, which you'll see in a second, to potentially Pursuit Trap that with a +1 Pursuit, get it down very, very low to where the rest of our team can kind of go in, especially our Scolipede. So that's kind of my plan for beating that Cofag right there. But yeah, then next up we have our Tapu Fini right here, rocking out with the Kabia Berry, Misty Surge ability, Defog, Moonblast, Surf, and Hidden Power Fire. Max HP, 92 defense, 56 special attack, 4 spread def, and 104 speed with a bold nature. So this is going to serve as our Weavile check. This is going to serve as a pretty decent Garchomp check. It's going to serve as a pretty decent Mega Gallade check. More so the Weavile is what I need this thing for. I think I can handle the other things with other members on my team. But it's also going to serve as our defogger. We have Hidden Power Fire for stuff like the Ferrothorn. And then Dual Stabs hits the rest of his team pretty decently hard. And yeah. Next up, we have our Landers Therian right here, rocking out with a Choice Scarf. Intimidate ability, U-turn, Earthquake, Fly, and Superpower. 4 HP, max attack, 92 defense, 12 SPDF, and 148 speed with an adamant nature. So the 92 defense actually allows us to live a Banded Weavile Ice Shard after rocks if he is intimidated, which is cool, you know, because I don't think Scarf Weavile has much of a place here, so we can, you know, knock that thing out with a U-turn if it's chipped, or a Superpower, or an Earthquake. Flies for the Mega Gallade. I figure having something that can hit that thing really, really hard and force it out at least, because I don't think Protect Mega Gallade is coming. I thought that was a pretty cool option. And then most of the time, though, I am just going to be clicking Earthquake and U-turn versus his team. Just grabbing momentum and hitting his team very, very hard with Scarflando EQ. And then lastly, we have our Sneasel right here. Rocking out the Life Orb for attack set, Pursuit, Knockoff, Icicle Crash, Low Kick, 20 HP, max attack, 220 speed, 12 SPDF, and 4 defense. So this hits his team actually very, very hard. Like I said, this is a great way of breaking the Kofag, which we kind of have trouble with at this point. If we can Pursuit Trap that thing, that would be great for our Lopunny. It would be great for our Scolipede. Just in general, the Low Kick is for the like Ferrothorn, stuff like that. And then Icicle Crash hits the Garchomp. And then Knockoff Spam is pretty good versus his team in general. But yeah, with that being said, let's just jump right into the battle. Alright guys, here we are with the battle. So looking at the team that Silver elected to bring, looks like he went with the Silvally, Ferrothorn, Cofagrigus, Sylveon, Weavile, and Garchomp. So right off the bat, the Weavile and the Garchomp are the biggest threats to me. I noticed no Mega Gallade, which is great because if my Spirit Gem got chipped at all, that thing was a huge, huge problem for me. I can use my Tapu Fini to check that Weavile, and Garchomp will just kind of pressure offensively. I don't really have too many great responses on the team to it. Good thing is I don't know if he's gonna be, you know, like a full physical set or something like that. He might, you know, be mixed. He might be like special because I do have a Tangrowth on my team. I definitely expect Z-move Garchomp though. Z-move Chomp is very, very good versus me as well. But yeah, with that being said, I am going to lead off with my Lopunny. It outspeeds everything on his team. I don't think Scarf Chomp comes. You know, Weavile, even if it is Scarf, it's probably scared out because it can't really OHKO me in any one hit, and I can kind of grab some momentum, maybe throw off a Power Punch, scout some sets and stuff like that. As right here, he is going to elect to lead off with the Silvally, and we see right here that that's actually a Silvally flying. So knowing I can't OHKO this thing most likely, I am just going to Mega Evolve, and I throw off the Baton Pass right here. And it sucks because I actually don't switch into this very well at all. Silvally is a really weird mon to prep for. I kind of want to prep for it every time I play it because I'm like, oh, well, I don't know what type he's going to bring, so I don't really want to go in and then him bring another type. Right here, I am going to Baton Pass, so we do reveal that strat right there. As we are able to go out into our Weavile, because I know I can take any one hit from this thing, as he ends up going for the Air Slash, doing a pretty big chunk to us, bringing us right around 50%, as I can kind of just throw off a Icicle Crash right here. And do a pretty big chunk to whatever wants to come in, scout some sets and stuff like that. As he does go into the Ferrothorn, as I get off an Icicle Crash and take off, give this to Ferrothorn, you know, it takes a pretty decent chunk, but it does show that he has a pretty decent amount of defense investment as well. As right here, I'm going to switch out. I can't really kill this thing with Low Kick at this point based on damage before, so I'm going to go right out into my Lopunny right here, expecting him to want to get up his hazards potentially, as he does get up his Stealth Rock, which I can potentially defog away with my Tapu Fini in the back, so that's not too big of a deal. As right here, he is going to pull the switch out into his Cofagrigus, I believe. Yeah, so out comes the Cofagrigus, as I am going to go for the Power-Up Punch right here, and I'm going to get a pretty decent chunk off on this thing. We do lose our Scrappy, so it is pretty obvious that we are going to Baton Pass out here. But what we Baton Pass out into is going to be another matter all entirely and stuff like that, as he is going to pull the switch out. I'm assuming, expecting our Weavile to potentially come in, as they are. I'm just going to Baton Pass as he goes into the Sylveon. And yeah, I believe we go out into, I want to say, our Landorus. So this is a +1 Scarf Landorus in here, which is pretty terrifying because we are adamant max attack and +1 with the speed boost. So this is pretty scary. This is another endgame that we can go towards if we want to Baton Pass +1 into this thing, kind of just run through his team. So right here, he is going to switch out into the Silvally, as I believe I go for the U-turn, expecting that because I've seen that is Silvally flying. He can check us pretty decently, as he does take a pretty decent chunk right there. As I believe I go into my Tapu Fini. The reason I go into Tapu Fini over, what do you call it? My Sneasel is because I can potentially defog away these rocks right here, and if I went into Sneasel and took Rock's chip and then took more Life Orb chip as he switched out and stuff like that, it just wasn't very advantageous. And I am going to go for the defog, as unfortunately we get flinched. So now we have to take even more chip. I probably would have switched out and preserved health on this thing so I could check the Weavile better still, as I am just going to go for the defog right here, but we are pretty low at this point, which is unfortunate. As we are able to get the rocks away at the very least, though, which is very nice. As right here, he's going to go for the parting shot on our Tapu Fini, as I believe I just threw off a Moonblast, either a Moonblast or a Surf. I believe it was the Moonblast, though, as he is going to go right back, and then I believe he switches out the, what is it? The Sylveon right here. So a -1 Moonblast is going to absolutely bounce off this Sylveon. It's going to do absolutely nothing. But that's fine. We get to see item. He is a leftover variant, so we don't have to worry about a Lore Berry. We don't have to worry about like a weird spec set or anything like that. As right here, we are going to just switch out. I'm going to potentially save this thing for later, and I'm going to go into my Landorus because I know I can eat up any hit from this thing, and in case it wants to go for, you know, maybe a Wish, or if it wants to go for Hyper Voice or something, as he does end up going for the Hyper Voice, which makes sense because I wasn't doing very much to him otherwise, as that does a huge chunk to our Landorus, unfortunately. But right here, I believe I just throw off one more U-turn. I think I'm going to want to maybe scout and go into the Silvally Flying or something like that. But he might have known at this point that there probably wasn't Z-move or something like that, and I definitely couldn't knock him out in one hit, unfortunately. But right here, I'm just going to go back out into my Tapu Fini, which again sucks because this thing's kind of just... I kind of just switched it out and took damage on my Landorus for absolutely no reason. I didn't want to be like Calm Mind, though. But he is going to throw off a Hyper Voice, and I believe we are going to live it, so we might get a little bit of chip off on the Sylveon. But our Tapu Fini is pretty much all but useless at this point, and it is going to go down in the next turn. As we are just going to throw off a Moonblast right here, as we do pretty much nothing, and just go for the Wish. Again, that was a smart play, because he can just throw off the Hyper Voice the next turn, and then get back up pretty much to full after that. So right here, he's going to get a little bit of lefties. And I believe he just throws off the Hyper Voice right here. As I go for one more Moonblast, maybe getting a special attack drop, maybe getting like a super mega crit or something like that, as he is going to throw off the Hyper Voice, and we are going to go down right there. So down goes our Tapu Fini, which is pretty scary because now we don't have a Dragon Immunity on the team. Now we don't have a Weavile check on the team, but we should be able to manage. Potentially, it's just more so breaking this dang Sylveon at this point. As right here, I am going to pull the switch out into my Scolipede. And I see this as like my prime opportunity to set up at this point. Potentially. No, I don't. I pull the switch out. I believe I go into my Weavile, my Sneasel. Okay, cool. So I'm a little bit ahead of myself. I should pause and kind of explain that play. So I go into the Sylveon, and this is the only thing that really on my team, the Scolipede is the only thing on my team that can really break that Sylveon. So expecting him to want to save it, he's obviously going to go out into his best response for this thing. And in my opinion, I think that's the Cofagrigus. He still has other ways of checking the Lopunny, so he doesn't 100% need the Cofagrigus. So right here, I'm going to double out into my Sneasel as he pulls the switch out into his Cofagrigus as I make this play right. The only other play that maybe could have happened is maybe he was carrying the Psychic coverage on the Sylveon, and he wanted to hit me with that, but then I would have been immune to that with the Sneasel. So right here, he is going to go into the Cofagrigus, and he's going to try and switch out of me, as I am going to throw off the Pursuit, which is great, because now this thing is potentially in range of my Scolipede, which is awesome, as I am going to get the Mummy ability right here. It doesn't really end up mattering too much. Right here, I'm going to take a little bit of Rocky Helmet and some Life Orb chip right there. As right here, he's going to send out, I believe, his own Weavile, which is, again, super unfortunate. We don't have our Fini anymore, so this thing is terrifying versus our team at this point. But right here, he's going to go for the knockoff. I didn't have Ice Shard, or I went for a little bit of chip or something like that. But we give him Mummy as well, so kind of just passing around the ability like it's nothing. But down goes our Sneasel right here, unfortunately. As I am gonna go, I believe this turn I go into my Lopunny right here, and I believe I am just going to throw off a Drain Punch. Do I throw off a Drain Punch right here, or do I Baton Pass out? I think I Baton Pass out on this turn, as he goes back into the Sylveon. No, I go for the Drain Punch. Man, I should have Baton Passed. It would have been a little bit of a smarter play, but oh well. As right here, we are going to get a tiny bit of health back. Just the chip that we took from Rocky Helmet earlier, basically. As right here, he's going to get a tiny bit more health back himself, and I am just going to Baton Pass right here. In hindsight, I should either Baton Pass the turn before, or I should have Power Up Punched. Power Up Punch was definitely taking out that Weavile. I wasn't really at that low of health, so I could have just gotten a +1 and potentially passed it into something. As I'm going to go into my Landorus right here, not really wanting him to get off any damage on my Scolipede, just so I can set up and stay out of range of an Ice Shard from the Weavile, as I am going to go down to the Hyper Voice. So this game's looking pretty rough at this point. At this point, my only real way of winning this 100%, like the only way I really can win this, is going to be by winning with my Scolipede. And I figure this is my best opportunity. This is what I was talking about earlier, is he is going to switch out because his Sylveon beats the other two members on my team. So there's no reason for him to sack it off. He's going to go into his Gofagris, as I am going to get up the Swords Dance right here, as we get +2, +1. And this is a roll depending on his investment. If he was Max Fizdef, it was definitely a roll. I don't remember in whose favor it was, but this is my only play. I am just going to go straight for an Earthquake, and we are actually going to get the roll, and we are able to knock out the Kofag, which is great because now we don't lose our Mummy. Now we are guaranteed faster than everything on his team, and we're +2, +2, and things are looking really nice as he goes into his Silvally. Now, this is where I mess up. Right here, I should have clicked my Bugsy. In my mind, I'm thinking, well, I want the Bugsy so I can hit the Ferrothorn with it, or the Garchomp. The Garchomp potentially died if he was offensive to a +2 Mega Horn most of the time. If he was very, very bulky, he would live it, but if he was just a regular spread, he would have died. And then the Ferrothorn, I needed it for that to knock it out. I don't remember how low he was, and I don't really know his investment 100%, so the Z-Bug would have been a nice nuke for that thing. But I can't kill this thing otherwise. And the Air Slash is going to either kill me or it's going to put me in range of Ice Shard from the Weavile. So regardless, my best play here was definitely to throw off my Bug Z, because despite being resisted, it had a small roll, a small chance to knock out the Silvally. But for some reason, I decided to try and save it, maybe go for a crit or something. As I go for the Poison Jab, it doesn't end up knocking him out. Brings him really close to where it makes me think that my Bugsy probably would have ended up knocking him out. As unfortunately it doesn't, and unfortunately he's just going to OHKO us with that Air Slash. Which sucks, because now our main win con's down. I don't really see how we can win this game, unfortunately, as our Scully goes down. I am going to go into my Lopunny right here and just throw off a Power-Up Punch, because it's definitely in range of that. He switches out right here. I don't exactly know why, in all honesty. He could have just stayed in and let me die and then gone to the Sylveon after, because if I went for 2 returns, I was adamant I had a chance to knock him out with 2 returns. So that was an interesting play, but nonetheless, it doesn't really matter too much. Now, my best bet here is maybe to crit him and have him not be max defense, have him be a more Spadef set. As right here, he is going to go for the Protect, as I believe I am just going to go for the Your Turn. Yeah, so my best bet right here is just going to be to crit this thing. If I can crit this thing and, like, knock it out with a return, I actually might win this game, depending on how things go. But yeah, we're going to return, and we're going to see. I forgot to do my happiness. we're at the base 70 happiness, unfortunately, so that's definitely not going to knock him out even with a crit. As down goes our Mega Lopunny right here, and we are going to lose this game, unfortunately, because obviously my Spirit Tomb can't touch this thing in the back. We're not going to do anything to it, actually. It's right here. I send it out, and it's just going to drop to a couple Hyper Voices. So, unfortunately, I'll just start the post-game ramble right now, as it ends up, the game ends up finishing out right here. Unfortunately, we are going to lose our round 1 game against Silver right here. Good game to him. He definitely outplayed me this game. It was definitely pretty rough on my end, but regardless, this was a very, very fun season. I really want to thank the people in Academy for letting me take over a replacement spot, and getting a chance to fight my way into playoffs and play against such a good player as Silver. He's having a phenomenal season, so if you haven't checked him out already, please do so. He's my personal pick to win the championship, and I hope he does, because then I could say, well, I lost to the champion, so it doesn't really matter. It's like coming in second, kind of, I guess. But yeah, with that being said, that is going to be the end of our Academy run, unfortunately. Just like in NCP, both of our seasons going to end in NCP, our season's going to end in APA. But like I said in that video, if you haven't checked that one out, we have some pretty cool leagues and projects and stuff like that we're working on coming up in the future. So the future is bright. I'm really excited for, to bust out some pretty fun new content and stuff like that in other leagues and stuff. But yeah, thank you guys for all the support in Academy. Be sure to subscribe and stick around so you can catch our league games as they go up, especially the new leagues that we're starting up in and stuff like that. And I'll catch you guys next time. Later.